Yoni Levitan.
Thanks, Aurelie. Before I start, I would just like to make a preface to my speech. And anything I say about the indifference of our members of parliament does not apply to the MPs that have joined us today. And I would just like to point them out for everyone. Glenn Pearson, Erwin Kotler, and we also have Boris Wisniewski and Paul Dewar, who's going to be joining us for a press conference later in the afternoon. So let's give them a round of applause first. So I'm going to try and do my best to pull things together by discussing the significance of this day and how you guys here can take action to help the people of Darfur. We all know that this rally is part of the Global Day for Darfur. I'd like everybody to stop for a minute and think about what that means. This rally is not taking place in isolation. There are events that have been planned on 6 continents, with tens of thousands of people attending. We are here not only as Canadians, we are here as global citizens, part of a global movement. And we have a strong message that we want to send to our parliamentarians, and in particular, Prime Minister Harper. We, the people of Canada, demand that our country take a leadership role in Darfur. This means doing more than throwing money at the problem. It means offering equipment, supplies, technical expertise, and diplomatic help. It also means making Darfur a priority at home. Instead of only making announcements as a reaction to news on the ground, or news coming from New York, we would like to see the Prime Minister and the Minister of Foreign Affairs talk about Darfur on a regular basis to engage Canadians in a dialogue on this crisis. Darfur is now at a crucial juncture, and we can't afford to look away. The message must be passed on to our elected officials. We must act on our concern for the situation. Concern itself is of little value. Just as Debbie spoke about, we have to get past the stage of concern and act on that concern. And that is what is going to help the people of Darfur. With this in mind, I have 2 actions I would like to suggest to everybody here to help the people of Darfur. First, you must reach out to your members of parliament. Many elected officials consider a personal letter or a phone call a personal request from 50 constituents. Everyone has something that concerns them, but few people actually take time out of their day to write a letter or to make a phone call. Tell your MPs what's on your mind. Tell them that you care about Darfur. I cannot overemphasize how much our collective action could accomplish here. Many MPs are sympathetic to the plight of Darfur, but most of them see little cost associated with doing nothing. We must create a cost to doing nothing. We must voice our displeasure with the status quo. To help in your personal advocacy, STAND is creating a direct advocacy phone system. You will be able to dial a toll-free number, listen to talking points on Darfur, and then get connected directly to your target MP of choice, such as the Prime Minister or the Minister of Foreign Affairs. This will be a quick, easy way to engage your MPs, and I encourage everyone to use this system once it's ready. We're expecting it to be up by the end of the month, and I ask that you all check our website, standcanada.org, to see when it is ready. The other thing I'm going to ask builds on comments from Erwin Kotler. I'm going to ask that you all become champions of targeted divestment. Our model takes a very focused approach, only blacklisting the worst of the worst. There are over 500 major multinational corporations doing business in Sudan. The list of highest offenders only has 24 on it. While many firms in Sudan try their best to respect human rights, others act with a complete disregard for human rights, only caring about their stock price. I am asking each of you to go home and go to SudanDivestment.org and screen your investment portfolio. Now, most of us are students. We don't really have RRSPs. So in that case, I ask you to go home, phone your parents, talk to your family members, see what they have in their RRSPs. Ask them to use these tools. The goal here is not to discourage investment in Sudan. Our goal here is to encourage reforms through our investment dollars. While the leaders of China don't care about human rights in Darfur, they do care about the stock price of PetroChina. And if people sell their shares and the price goes down and there's influence there, then the language of money, which the Chinese do understand and which does motivate them, will prompt them to take action and encourage the peace process to move forward. To wrap up, I'd like to re-emphasize the collective power we hold. If we feel powerless, then we will be powerless, falling into the trap of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Or we could pool our efforts together, take action, engage our MPs, and we can make our voices heard. This is the only way for us to effect change. For Canada to take on a more proactive role in Darfur, we must give our politicians a reason to act. We must let them know that this time around, there will be a price for their indifference. Thank you.